author, playwright, and educator, Holly Charles attended Purdue University for her undergraduate studies, and whether teaching or writing herself, has told stories about the African American experience. Her original thesis, Velvet, The Burden of Melanin and Motherhood, has been transformed into the author's first novel, Velvet. More recently, she wrote and produced in All Thy Getting, The Forgotten Story of Freedmanstown, a stage play celebrating the triumphant rise of an enslaved settlement in Fourth Ward, Houston, Texas, which debuted in 2017 at the Ensemble Theater. Proceeds benefited the Rutherford B.H. Yates Museum, a nonprofit preservationalist organization and museum. Since that time, Charles founded Houston Play on Purpose, nonprofit organization purposed with raising awareness for social injustices and issues that disproportionately affect underserved and/or minority populations. Using appropriate research, HPOP creates theatrical productions to engage audiences and encourage the equality and empowerment of all people. HPOP's rollout production, I'm Still a Woman, an episodic stage play which debuted at Match Theater in the summer of 2018, aimed at raising awareness concerning the growing yet taboo issue of infertility in women of color. Charles's most recent groundbreaking production, Black, White, and Sunshine, which debuted at Match Theater summer 2019. It shed light on the disproportionality of minority children swept into both the juvenile justice and child welfare systems. For summer 2020, HPOP has chosen to address the stages of homelessness caused by physical and psychological trauma. The aptly titled Blue Spectrum will expose poor mental health as the key trigger for homelessness amongst military veterans and sex traffic victims. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we honor you, Holly Charles.
Imagining excellence and bringing everyone here tonight. And I really would like to thank, my Heavenly Father for creating in me a vessel. It really is a privilege to come to His feet and to serve Him. And it's a great responsibility that I don't take lightly. And I'm just so glad that God has chosen me to be able to create these stories about people who are often voiceless. And so Houston Play on Purpose really came about because I had a feeling of hopelessness. I had written a book. I was doing a lot of literary talks, and I was going around the city speaking to the plight of the African American woman, the African American man. I was doing all these things, and then I found out about Freedmanstown, the largest ex-slave settlement left in the United States. And I realized I was walking on sacred ground, and I felt this overwhelming feeling of hopelessness, like what can I do? And I taught for 15 years, and at the time I thought, on a teacher's salary, I have nothing to give, how can I help? And I'm telling you this story because I'm challenging everyone to stop feeling so hopeless. And that was something that I had to challenge myself with. You have to ask yourself, God, what is it that I have to give? It wasn't money. But I knew that I was in a leadership institute and I was influencing people because I could write. That's all I had. It's kind of like when you are driving down the street and you see someone that you want to help somebody down on their luck, and you don't roll down the window because you say you don't have anything to give. And you drive past someone when you had, maybe it was raining and you had an extra umbrella in the back, or maybe it's hot and you had an extra bottle of water. You have to ask yourself, what is God giving me? And so the only thing that I know to give is my imagination and my creativity and my ability to write. And what happened was, over one weekend at the Ensemble Theater, 1,500 people came out. And over a year, we were able to raise $33,000. and we were able to give 18,000 of that clear and free to the Rutherford BHCH Museum and employ Black actors and other Black business owners all in 1 year. And then after that, you know, as God does, I thought I would go crawl back into a hole and write another book and mind my business. And God said, no, you need to continue to write with purpose. And so the next year I said, we're gonna look at infertility in women of color. And the next year, we're gonna look at the fact that we have such high rates of recidivism and our Black children are being driven in droves into these systems that don't care about them, that's being ruled by people that don't look like them. And so my goal is to continue to do that every day. And so I'm standing here today to ask you all to please look in the back seat. Think about what you have to give, and it may not be money, but there may be some way that you can raise awareness nonetheless. So this year, if there's anyone who would like to be involved with HPOC, Houston Play on Purpose, is looking at stages of homelessness, and there's no way for us to look at that without dealing with mental health, without looking at physical and psychological trauma, without looking at sex trafficking victims or veteran societies. So if you could please think about what it is that you have to give. If you're not an actor, I'm sure that there's someone that you know who also would like to serve. So thank you so much for this honor.